It's finally here, the moment you've been working toward for longer than you can remember. And as you stand at the starting line, your heart beating out of your chest, you'll know that however tough the journey was to get here, it'll be no match for the one that lies ahead.
When that gun goes off, it's like your heart almost stops for 1 second, and you pause and realize this is really going to happen. I'm at the starting line of the Boston Marathon.
For 364 days of the year, this course is just 26 miles and 385 yards of curbs and street. But on this one day, this course is a beast that can come up and grab the competitor.
You're ready to go, your adrenaline's pumping, and you know it's going to be an awesome day.
As you run through Ashland, the course continues to lose altitude as it winds along Union Street for just over 3 miles.
There's so much energy out there. So use it, but use it wisely. Don't overrun those first couple miles. You have a long ways to go.
After the second mile, the downhill pitch levels. The crowd's thin and the fields of runners start to spread out. So now's the time to take a deep breath and really find your rhythm.
You're about to enter your third of 7 towns throughout the course. Just stick to your plan. It's still very early.
The course now begins to roll down and flatten out a bit. Use this time to reserve energy and prepare for the hills to come.
As you run through Framingham, take advantage of the relatively flat section. The crowds will be larger and louder than in the earlier miles, so let their enthusiasm fuel you. But don't forget, you still need to hold back a bit.
The 10K point is one of the most crucial on the entire race course, because if you're running at a pace that's faster than your personal best, you may have gone out too quickly, and you'll immediately need to adjust your pace.
This part of the race follows a gentle downhill slope until the 10-mile mark, where it levels out heading through the center of town. Here, the wheelchair athletes take advantage of the flat stretches of the course to conserve energy.
Through Natick, enjoy the rolling terrain. It allows you to use different muscles.
There's sort of a quiet area between Natick and Wellesley, not quite as many fans. But that's the calm before the storm, because when you hit Wellesley College, it's going to get loud, and you can't hear yourself think.
The Wellesley Scream Tunnel will raise the hair on your skin, it'll give you the chills, it will ring in your ears, and it is going to be a memory that sticks with you for the rest of your life.
As you cross the halfway point, you get really excited because you start counting down, realizing that you've run further than you have left to go.
At this point, you're only about a mile away from some of the sharpest drops and steepest climbs in the entire race. This is a good place to really gauge your energy, and if you're not feeling fresh, to just slow down and take some time to regroup.
As you're leaving Wellesley, you'll be entering Newton Lower Falls, which is the steepest downhill portion of the course. And it's really the first of 4 hills. You've got to control yourself going down that hill between 15 and 16 miles.
As you approach the uphill at mile 16, it almost feels like an optical illusion because you can't really see it, but you can feel it, and that crowd is yelling and screaming and helping you get up and over that hill.
Be prepared, because this part of the race takes you along a highway overpass, dramatically exposing you to the heat, the rain, the wind, or any other elements the day might bring.
The Newton Hills are probably the most challenging part of the course, and you head into a set of 4 Don't think of it as 4 Newton hills. Focus on each one at a time. Get up, use the downhill to recover, let your body recoup, and then focus on tackling that next hill.
Up until you reach Commonwealth Ave, you really haven't made any big turns the entire race. But as you take that right and see those huge crowds cheering you on, it'll be a great boost for the miles ahead.
The best tip I ever got for running hills, and which I think applies to these hills in Newton, is to put together 10 quick steps at the top of the hill. That way you get your pace back very quickly.
As you head down the second hill and the road starts to flatten, it can fool you into thinking that the worst is over. But remember, you still haven't reached the infamous Heartbreak Hill.
Heartbreak Hill is the last major incline of the race, so once you make it to the top, it's okay to celebrate. After that, you'll start to descend into the city, and the boisterous crowds along Boston College will help motivate you in those final miles.
After the runners crest the top of Heartbreak Hill, now they must go down the backside of it. That's where they'll pass a cemetery, and they'll soon understand why more elite leads have been lost in that very mile than any other mile in the entire race. That's why it's called the Haunted Mile.
Before entering Cleveland Circle, the race turns abruptly right onto Chestnut Hill Ave, then goes left 300 yards onto Beacon Street.
Here, it's good to maintain your speed going into the left-hand turn, but you also need to be careful of the train tracks that you will need to cross.
As you leave Cleveland Circle and head towards Coolidge Corner, everything will be hurting you. Your calves, your quads, your hamstrings, your arms. But keep moving forward. You've prepared for this moment. Set your sights on someone ahead of you and dig deep. You've got this.
When you get to Brookline, the crowds are incredible. Boston has some of the greatest fans in the world, and there's a ton of energy around there. You're going to be hurting because that's the marathon. Tap into the energy around you, use the momentum of the course, and let it help you to the finish line.
The toughest part about running along Beacon Street in Brookline is that you start to see the city landscape and you see the Citgo sign, and it doesn't seem like it's getting any closer. But once you reach that 1 mile to go, you know you've made it.
Down into Kenmore Square, the crowds are tremendous. You've got the Red Sox fans just coming out of the baseball game. You've got college students. Everybody's out there. The crowds are building, and you know you're close.
Here, the incline under the Tommy Leonard Bridge can really break your stride. But don't worry, because the worst is almost over.
Right on Hereford, left on Boylston Street, and there's only 600 meters to the finish. The deafening crowd, 6 people deep, will take you home.
As you turn onto Boylston Street, the crowd thickens, they're screaming, and you start to reflect on all the months of training, the hard work, the commitment, the sacrifices, and you finally realize it's all been worth it. You made it.
When you get to that last stretch on Boylston Street, every emotion will just pour out as you get closer and closer to the finish.
Crossing the line is sweet relief. Oh, it's the best feeling and the worst feeling and all the feelings mixed into one.
Sure, there's a medal that's waiting for you, but it's not the medal that you carry with you. It's just finishing the Boston Marathon. You'll carry that in your heart the rest of your life.